Hello and welcome back. Today we'll be discussing how to make a LaTeX document. So those who are new to LaTeX, as per Wikipedia page, LaTeX is a document preparation system, and when writing, the writer uses plain text as opposed to formatted text found in Word processes like Microsoft Word, LibreOffice, and all that. So in a nutshell, LaTeX is some kind of an alternative for Word and LibreOffice Writer. You use commands to create tables, figures, and then algorithms and that sort of thing. So if you are new to LaTeX and don't know anything about it, and this video will be helpful for you to make your first LaTeX report. So it can be a thesis report, it can be a project report, or anything of that sort. So the PDF we are going to make is like this. So it will have a front page. Right now it's made for Indian Institute of Technology, Bombay, and you'll have a title and then declaration of academic ethics, and then acknowledgement, abstract, and then table of contents. We'll discuss different ways to create sections, then organize list, image, table, algorithm, code, equation, and then I'll discuss how to cite a reference and then an image within the document, and then how to use bibliography in the standard format as a separate file, and then you'll have a list of figures, list of tables, and introduction. Chapter 2 is the technical stuff where we discuss image, table, algorithm, code, equation, citations, and then we have conclusion and future work, appendix, and bibliography. One drawback of LaTeX is that you need to install many packages for using different features in this say system. So to avoid that, what we are going to do is to use something called Overleaf. Overleaf is a web interface, is a website which helps you make online LaTeX documents, which you can share with up to I think 5 people or maybe 2-3 people in the free version, which should be enough to get started. So I'm going to use Overleaf here. So let's create a blank project. Let's call it LaTeX Thesis and create the project. So once the project is created, it will open a default template where you will see a simple document. So for this tutorial we won't be needing this, so I'm just going to delete the inner part of it. So maybe begin document is what we need to start the document. So whatever is inside begin document and end document is our report. So for document class, article is a standard class. So what I'm going to use is a custom style file which is called IITB thesis. And to use this file, we need to upload the IITB thesis style file from my local machine. I'm going to upload it. LaTeX thesis, IITB thesis. Now let's compile it. There are some errors. I'm going to type something here and compile. Yes, so you need to type something in the document to see the compilation successful. The document which I showed earlier, it requires certain packages for type settings and all that. So I'm going to copy these packages from my file. This file I'll be sharing with you this file. So for the time being I'm just copying it. So all these packages are here, and then let's start the document, start of the document. So here is the start of the document, we have it here, and let's create a title page first. Now so begin title page and end title page. So whatever is within this is going to appear here. As you can see, the title page has come, but there is a small error. This is because the figure which is mentioned in this section is missing. So I'm going to create a folder called figures, and there I'm going to upload two figures which I'm going to use in this document. So one is the institute logo, which just showed an error, and another one is a sample image. Let's compile it again. So you can just use Control S also. See, this has come nicely. Okay, now we have only title page. Next we will have a declaration and acknowledgement. Control C, paste it here. Now to enable this, you need a separate text file called declaration.tex. So let's create that, or rather we'll directly upload from the local machine. Declaration and acknowledgement, both. These are two ways of including. You can either use input or you can use include. So in include you don't need a .tex extension. So let's compile it. So before that, let's see declaration file. It looks like this. So it's a chapter, and after some space you have this declaration saying that I have not copied any content from anywhere, or if I use something, I have cited it properly. And then in the end you will have the name of the student and the date. And acknowledgement is where you thank all the people who have helped you make this report or project. Let's come back to main.tex file and see if it compiles. There was some error when I was using input, so I just changed it back to include. So we use include keyword to include all the chapters or separate tex files. So let's recompile it again. And you can see declaration here, and so you can replace this with your name. And there is acknowledgement. So whatever is in bold you can replace. And next is abstract. So every project requires an abstract. You need to briefly mention what this project is about, what you have done, and what is the advantage of your work. So let's copy this abstract section and keep it just below acknowledgement, and Control S. And abstract appears just below acknowledgements. Next is table of contents, figures, and list of tables. You just have to type. This is the beauty of it. You just need to type table of contents, and then it will take all the indices and then keep it in an arranged fashion in the beginning of the document. And you can list figures, you can list tables. These are all keywords, you can't change them. And new page is something which you add when you need to move to a new page, obviously. And let's compile it. And right now you will see content here, and then list of figures. There are no figures because we have not started the document, and list of tables is also empty. To reduce the clutter in the main document, the contents of each chapter is kept in separate text files. So this is done like this. For example, if you have 3 chapters, first is introduction, second is main work, and the end you have conclusion. You can have more chapters in between if you want. What we do is we create a folder called chapters, and then keep text file with this name and then .tex extension. So I'm going to create a folder called chapters, and I'm going to upload rather I'll go inside the chapter and then create a new file called ch1 introduction. That's it, and let's open chapter 1. Maybe for the timing let's comment out the 2 chapters. You can use control / to comment. That's a shortcut in Overleaf. Let's go back to chapter 1, and the chapter 1 is empty right now. I'm going to open the local copy of chapter 1 and it looks like this. Let's copy all of it and paste it here. So in the beginning you need to have this line with the keyword chapter, and this is the title of the chapter, and then wherever you want to refer to this chapter in some other part or other chapter, you need to use a label, and then you can write whatever label you want to use for this chapter. I'm going to use intro, and these are the contents of this chapter. Let's go back to main.txt. In fact, you don't need to go back to main.txt. Let's compile it here itself and see if chapter 1 has appeared or not. Chapter 1, you see, chapter 1 is here, and interesting thing, you have a table of contents already updated with introduction. You click here, you get introduction. Now let's go to main.txt and then enable chapter 2, and this has a name, chapter 2 main work. Control C, going to chapters folder, creating a file called chapter 2 mainwork.tex, opening chapter 2 mainwork.tex. And congratulations, you have reached the main part of this presentation, where I'll be discussing the key concepts of LaTeX. So chapter 2 main work has chapter technical stuff, name of the chapter, label, ch colon technical stuff. Let's copy it there, as you should. For every chapter this should be there, and just hit that panel. And so the first thing is our sections. So you need to nicely organize the section. So wherever you need a bigger section, you can just use the keyword section and it will create a section for you, and if you use subsection, it will create subsection and then subsection, and there are, I think, subsection is also there. And for the timing, let's see how it looks like. We have a section, subsection, and then without numbering, subsection. That's done. And then lists. So bullet points are something which we in most of the reports we cannot avoid them. Some sort of bullet points will be there. So you can use them, represent them using bullets. In that case, you can use begin itemize and end itemize, and then every item you need to keep it just after the keyword item /item. And then if you want a numbered list, you can use begin enumerate and end enumerate. Control S, compiling. And it looks like this. Sorry, this is item and this is numbered item. That's done. And next I'll show you how to include an image in a LaTeX document. Control V. To include I'm creating a subsection for every object, list, image, etc. And then now if you want to include an image, you need to use begin figure and end figure environment. So inside that you can use include graphics, and then you can specify the width of the document, width of the figure, and then the relative path to that image. So inside that figures folder, I have an image called animage.png, and then a caption which will appear just below the image, and a label which you will be using to refer to this image in other parts of the document. Let's compile it. And we have our image here. The future is indeed exciting, and caption is an image. That's also done. Let's see how we can create a table in LaTeX. Control C, Control V. Okay, so interesting thing is that, okay, there is some error here. Okay, so yeah, so similar to similar to image, you also have something called begin table and end table. Inside that you can have begin tabular and end tabular section. You can have multiple of them inside begin table, end table, it seems. And then this one right here is where you specify the alignment of content in each column of the table. So this has 4 vertical rows, which means vertical lines, which means there are 3 columns. And then first column is going to be left aligned contents of first column. Second column is going to be center aligned, and last one is going to be right aligned. And then each line is a horizontal line which is going to separate every entry of the table, every row of the table. And then this is the first entry of the first row, and after that you need to have this ampersand or ant symbol, which says that you are going to move to next cell in the table, right side. And then after that you have right side, and this is new line. Okay, so after that, after this 2 slashes everywhere and anywhere in the document means it's a new line. It's equivalent to slash new line. And then you have h line, and then you can add as many combination of h line and table of content. So you can just copy paste, and then you have more of them. So I'm just not going to go there, and let's see how it compiles. As I have told earlier, this is going to be a 3 column table, left aligned end column, right line, center aligned and right aligned column. So table is also done. Now let's see what we have next. We have an algorithm here. Let's see what an algorithm looks like and how we can use it in the LaTeX document. Okay, so algorithm or pseudocode, anything of that sort, can be introduced within this environment called begin algorithm and end algorithm. So after this begin algorithm and then begin table and all that, you see something in square bracket. Whatever is in square bracket, I mean most of it in square bracket, is kind of optional. So it just says it just controls the alignment of this algorithm, figure and table and etc. So you can look up in the web. So these are certain keywords. Whatever is in blue is a keyword. It just says, okay, we need a numbered algorithm. There are going to be many lines, and then each line will have a number, and then inputs to the algorithm, kw in, kw out is output. And then whatever is algorithm, you can write it here. And then every line of the algorithm is separated by a slash semicolon. You see 2 lines here, and then obviously a caption for the algorithm, and then label, and then end of algorithm. So if you are using special symbols like underscore and then ampersand etc., you need to make sure that you put them inside two dollar symbols, otherwise it's going to give you an error. That's something for your reference. Let's compile it. This is how your algorithm is going to look like. Every algorithm will be numbered automatically. If you keep one below, then it will be numbered algorithm 2. And then as discussed, numbered lines are there. Now we're done with algorithm also. Let's see how we can incorporate how we can add a code segment. Let's say if you have a program and you just want to add it. For that, we'll be using something called listing package, and this package is already included at the top of main.tech. You can look up later. And then if you want to introduce a code, this is a keyword, and inside that, in curly brackets, we need to specify the relative path to the code. And then you can have a caption, you can have a label. And then first let's see if we have the code here. We don't have the code here, so for that we need to create a folder called code, and then I'm going to upload the code. Upload file, code, and a code. Done. Let's compile it. After compiling, you will see the code here. So these are called listings, listing package. So the label caption is here and your code is here, and then the code actually looks like this. There is a code it would be. So whenever you want to change the code, you just need to change this file and re-upload it. Let's go back to the chapter 2, and then let's see how we can introduce an equation in the document. So to add an equation, you have this environment, begin equation, end equation, and then inside that whatever equation you want to add. This is my equation, x square plus y square equal to z square, and with a label so that I can refer to this equation later. That's it, and Control S, and we have our equation. Let's see what we have next. We have so here we will discuss how we can cite table and image and algorithm and all that which you have just discussed above. So when you want to cite something, you can use these labels which you have written inside the equation, inside the algorithm, and inside table, here, and inside the image. So what I have written is that check out the image / reference. So this is a keyword whenever you want to cite images, tables, etc., and then you need to write the exact label. Let's compile it and see what comes there. So what it does is it picks up the section name and then it labels it properly, and then image numbers are automatically given. So 2.1 is image. If you click there, you will be taken to this image. Let's go back to this citation and reference section, and this is also done. Now I'm going to show how we can use bibliographies so that you can refer to previous literature, books, web links, papers, conference and journal papers, publications, etc. in your document. So that's what is next. Now, similar to the citations which you are citing of images, we have something called / cite keyword. Now what is this? So inside cite you have another text here. So it says this is some kind of label to a conference paper. Now this should be mentioned inside something called .bib file. This is a bibliography file that should be there in the document. So I'm going to upload it for the time being. Bibliography.bib. Okay, this is it, and this is one requirement, and then you need to specify the type of styling of the bibliography, etc. also. For that you're going to need this section, references and bibliography, and notice that you're going to do this in the main.tex file. See, this section is very important. So this is where you specify what kind of style you're going to use for your references, and right now I'm going to use IEEE transaction style. I think it is transaction TR, and then bibliography / bibliography is a keyword, and this is the name of this file, bibliography.tex, and this should be there in main.tex file. This is main.tex. Let's see what bibliography.bib file has. Okay, so this has many sections. This is one section. Here I have cited a website, and this is the label of that citation, iitb.web, and this is the title, and this is when the URL. This is a section where you say when you have accessed it last time, and this is a conference paper which I was talking to earlier, and this is the entire citation which I have downloaded from IEEE, and this is journal paper, and this is a book. So note this keyword: book, journal paper, and conference paper, and IITB web. Now let's go back to our chapter 2 and then see, and then observe that this is conference paper, this is journal paper, and this is a book, and this is IITB web. Okay, and then let's compile it. Now we have this section, and there are some numbers. So what are these numbers? So these are the numbers for the references. Then this will appear, the references will appear in the order in which you are citing them in the document. Now let's see, let's click here and we have our reference section here. This is just generated, because when you start citing it, it will be generated. So this is the first paper, keep in a large, and then let's go to the bibliography file and see what it is. This is a conference paper and these are the authors, and this is the book title, and this is the title of the paper. So if you want to download something of this sort, you need to visit the website where this paper is published and download .bib file. Let me show you an example. So this is one paper in IEEE. I'm going to click cite here and BibTeX, and I'm going to copy all of it. See, this is in the same format, proceedings, author, book title. You just need to copy it and come back to your bib file at the end of the last citation, paste it. That's it. Okay, so whenever you want to cite it, use this number or use a custom text. Now that's also done. Let's go back to chapter 2. Yeah, we are done with chapter 2. Let's go back to main.tech and enable our last chapter, which is conclusion and references. For that, you need a file cs3_conclusion in your folder called chapters. So I'm going to create that file, and then I'm going to copy the contents from my local copy. Ctrl+A, Ctrl+C, chapter 3 conclusion, paste it here. As usual, we have a chapter keyword with chapter title and label, and then some text, and chapter 3 appears here. Done. Let's go back to main.tech. What do we have in main.tech? I think that's it, except for one thing. It's called appendix. So if you want to add something without a chapter number, you just, for example, an appendix. So whatever extra information you used for this project, you can add it as appendix. And then in chapter, you need a file called appendix. Appendix.tech. Sorry. So let's go to appendix.tech, and then this is just title of the appendix. I will not put any contents there. You can put code, you can put tool information, other references, etc. So after chapter 3 you have appendix, and then we have seen bibliography already. Yeah, so we are done with the presentation, and just in case you want to generate this PDF, you want to work with the local PC without any internet, without Overleaf, you need to make sure that you have installed all the LaTeX packages which are used in this document, and after that you can use this make file. So I have a make file here, and it compiles and then it generates a LaTeX PDF copy for you. So I opened the terminal in the root directory, and then I just typed make, and then the PDF gets generated. So that's it. So you have the same PDF. If you want to try out the same example, I will give you these files in the description of the video below, and if you have any comments, suggestions, etc., please post them as comments here, and thanks a lot.